I'm not special for saying this. I think a lot of people share this opinion, but one of my favorite quotes in a movie comes from The Dark Knight. It's the scene with Harvey Dent sitting with Bruce Wayne and a few other lovely ladies in the restaurant. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And in this situation, boy oh boy do we have ourselves a brand new scapegoat in the world of Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. Now, I know scapegoat is kind of a hyperbolized way of looking at it. I'm just kind of making a meme here, folks. But I will say this video is being recorded the night of Tuesday, April 18th. I'm not uploading it right away because it's late, but this is going to be uploaded later tomorrow morning. Right now, the player that we're going to be talking about has a hearing process that is going to commence later. And at the time of recording this audio, we don't know if he actually got suspended or if he did get suspended, how long it's going for. At the time of me talking to you on this microphone, we don't know that information, but in the comments, I'm sure y'all are going to have a pretty good field day in discussing whatever the outcome of the hearing is. But today, let's talk about a guy that was seen by many Toronto Maple Leafs fans as sort of a blessing, a savior, a guy that would come over here with a super cheap contract and with a boatload of scoring potential and just be an absolute gem. Michael Bunting. Now, last year, Bunting was a pretty significant figure in the NHL's lore, mostly because he was a brand new player on the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had been acquired from the Arizona Coyotes, and he was given a shot to play with the main squad after seasons of bouncing up and down with Tucson and Arizona and Tucson once again. This is why, even though the guy was 26 years old to start out 2021-2022, he was considered a rookie. We made the videos, we had talked about how if this guy was just a little bit older, or if how this guy had played just a few more games prior to his stint with Toronto, he would not be eligible for the Calder, but long story short, he was eligible. He had 63 points in 79 games played. He was doing all of this on a $950,000 deal, and Maple Leafs fans were rejoicing. Now, the reason you clicked on this video is because today, Michael Bunting doesn't have that same reputation as being the absolute diamond in the rough, gem of a hockey player who could play in the top six with Matthews and Marner and get all these goals and score all these points and do so at a pretty cheap cap hit. This is because, firstly, Michael Bunting produced fewer points in this season's worth of play than he had last year. He had 49 points and 23 goals in 82 games played, and he is going to expire as a UFA later this offseason. You also have the fact that the past few months' worth of play out of Michael Bunting have seen him sort of garner this reputation of not necessarily being the rookie that's in charge and getting all this crazy stuff, but more so just a pest that's got his fair share of time talking to referees and having a few controversial moments here and there. There have been embellishment conversations. Everybody's talking about how Bunting is super annoying to play against, and now other teams are combating that by going after the guy. Oh, he's getting treated poorly by the opposite players. Oh, he's getting treated poorly by the refs, this and that. And as the season has ended, Michael Bunting's reputation amongst those who are not Leafs fans has sort of gone down the drain. Sure, he's talented enough to score points and still be an NHL player, but you definitely don't want to see all of the embellishment conversations popping up about this guy that we had seen. And yesterday, we had ourselves an even crazier moment when Michael Bunting was heading into the corner against Erik Cernak to try to collect the puck. He went out there and absolutely leveled Cernak in the face with his elbow. And this is a move that got Michael Bunting the game. He was removed from the game straight up, and now he's going to have a disciplinary hearing, as we had said at the time of me talking into the microphone. That has not been completed yet. We don't know if there is a suspension in place. But if I was a betting man, I'm not, but if I was, I'd probably go out there and wager that Bunting is going to get suspended for a pretty significant portion of this series, if not the entire series itself. This is the moment where we have started to see a lot of memes pop up on social media, and a lot of Leafs fans, heck, not even just Leafs fans, but fans of anybody watching this series saying, hey, wait a minute, this kind of feels familiar. A guy who has been somewhat of a pest the past little while, with all of these controversial penalties for and against the past few months, coming into a game against Tampa Bay, a highly anticipated game, a game where the team is losing, and then he goes out there and embeds his elbow into a guy's face? He's gonna get suspended for this, most likely. Wait a minute, this is Nazem Kadri all over again. And I saw way too many people. If you just search Twitter, you go to Bunting Kadri. You just search Bunting Kadri and the same thing. That's it. You'll see so many memes, so many people going out there saying the same thing. Bunting is the new Kadri. Bunting is Kadri 2.0. Michael Bunting is this. Bunting just Kadri'd himself. There's the Spider-Man meme. There's a headshot swapping of both of these guys put into the same picture. And the thing with Nazem Kadri was that Kadri was really good. Like, we all recognize that Kadri was a talented player. He scored a 100-point pace last season with the Colorado Avalanche. Unfortunately, this season he didn't really do all too much with the Flames in comparison, but Kadri was a very talented player that just couldn't discipline himself properly in the postseason with Toronto. It's why he had gotten these suspensions and why he had this reputation and why he was unreliable as a player the Leafs wanted to put their faith into as a Maple Leaf. But now you have yourselves Michael Bunting, who probably was going to have this entire contract negotiation process that he would exhibit in a few months super contingent on what would happen in this postseason run. If there was anybody that needed this postseason run to go well, it was Michael Bunting, because this could determine how much the guy makes, either with Toronto or with any other team, as a top free agent in the UFA market. Sure, a guy like Bunting is still going to be valuable. I mean, he got 40-something points on the year. But the fact is, he's 27 years old, he's gotten this bad reputation the past little while, and now he's done this, or he could potentially be out for the whole series, depending on if the Leafs end up stretching it out to 7 games, or if they win without Bunting, which is going to be tough to do. This could be absolute career detrimental behavior. And for Bunting, if you're gonna be on the train that you hope that he's gonna get paid, you hope he's gonna get the big money contract, get the big bucks, and do all this stuff, well, if he's not gonna play for the ending parts of this season in the playoffs, then I don't know if that's gonna happen. And the way everybody's talking about this, I mean, I'm not seeing anybody on social media, on the radio, on TV, or wherever saying that Bunting has a chance to not get a suspension. I mean, by the time this video was uploaded, you already know what happened. If he didn't get suspended, and okay, cool, like, I'm wrong. Hands up, I know I'm wrong. But just the optics of how everything is going around. If the more likely possibility that Bunting does get suspended does come to fruition, then hey, that guy kind of ruined his playoff run and his last shot at giving other GMs fuel to reason out that he should be getting more money, that next season should be a bigger and better year for a guy who is already in his prime. He's 27, he'll be 28 at the start of next season, and this should have been the time for Bunting to show off that he can be the important player a top 6 in the NHL could rely on. And the past few weeks' worth of play out of Bunting has been really questioning that sort of conclusion, and now with the hit against Chernak yesterday, it makes it even worse. Not to mention the fact that the Maple Leafs ended up losing really poorly. I mean, you get booed off of your home rink at the end of the first period, 3-0. Kucherov scores a last-second goal. Even at the end of the second period, Braden Point scores a last-second goal. Yeah, I watched the game. I had it on in my living room, just kind of in passing, seeing what was going on there. The Maple Leafs were not good. Not good at all. The Tampa Bay Lightning showed up to play, and Toronto showed up to... I don't know what it was that they showed up to do. Honestly, just kind of go for a skate and let the Tampa Bay Lightning waltz all over them while potting the puck left, right, and center. So I guess when it comes to how things are going to proceed, you gotta hope that everybody involved bounces back. You gotta hope that Samsonov is true to his word when he says that he's not going to let that happen again. And yeah, hopefully the Maple Leafs are able to get past Tampa. I had them winning in the first round in my bracket, so I'd prefer them to do that. But yeah, from yesterday's showcase, Game 1, I'm not too sure I'm too confident in that assessment anymore. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, not only about the Bunting-Kadri comparisons, but about Toronto and Tampa Bay. This series as a whole, the Game 1, what were your thoughts? Do you think the Leafs still have a chance to win? Do you think Tampa's got this in the bag? Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Juraj, and bye.